coming. We're going to begin the evening with me. My name's Ilana Hamilton, and I will be telling you a couple of stories this evening. The first one that I have for you comes from the Khanty people of Siberia. Like many of the circumpolar cultures, they have a bear cult tradition, a highly ritualized bear hunt. And this piece comes from that tradition. As I encountered it, it was given the title, The Great Bear. When I was let down from my father God, the seven-throated, on an iron chain's end, to the small wooded island with the thick birch grove, out in the long and narrow lake. When I came down, a fair bird-cherry hill, a fair hill full of hips and haws rose up, with hips and haws as fat as oar blades. Bird cherries, thick as an elk's lip, grew there in abundance. Two men came from the prince's town. One said, "To the small wooded island with the thick lime grove I'll go, for wood to make a strong bow." The other said, "To the small wooded island with the thick lime grove out there in the long and narrow lake I'll go, for wood to make a bow of birch." In a three-ribbed boat they sat, seized the oar in a firm and handsome palm, and the oar, dipping forward, leapt astern like a fish lifted in an osprey's beak. When they came to the small wooded island with the thick lime grove out in the long and narrow lake, one cut strong wood to make a bow, the other wood to make a bow of birch. On the small wooded island with the thick lime grove out in the long and narrow lake rose up a hill teeming with bird cherries, teeming with hips and haws. The hips and haws were fat as oar blades, and the cherries clustered thick as an elk's lip grew there in abundance. When the two men of the same size and height returned to their town quay, they announced the news to all the women, told it point by point. Then all the women, those with nimble hands, made birch bark baskets ready for gathering, those equipped with fair bark rims, and brought them in their hands. The men launched from the shore the mighty boat, the one adorned with birds which the town prince went in to war. On the small wooded island with the thick lime grove out in the long and narrow lake, they brought along a baby girl and put her in the middle of the boat. They brought a boy still in the birch bark basket and put him in the middle of the boat. On the small wooded island with the thick lime grove, the wooded island with the thick birch grove out in the long and narrow lake, the men pushed to the land the sharp-prowed boat. Then all the women, those with nimble hands, jumped like quick-bottomed hares towards the shore, and all the women, those with lazy hands, crawled on all precious fours towards the shore. They took the baby girl, they took the boy still in the birch bark basket, dangled them down from a fair, dry branch. Then all the women, those with lazy hands, with hard-working hands, ran to the grove that teemed with bird cherries. When all the women, those with lazy hands, began to fill the bottom of the baskets, and all the women, those with nimble hands, had filled up to the middle of the baskets, I bellowed at them like a forest beast. Then all the women, those with nimble hands, jumped like quick-bottomed hares towards the shore, and all the women, those with lazy hands, crawled on all precious fours towards the shore. They turned the prow round of the mighty boat astern, and forward turned the great boat's stern, the prince's one, adorned, painted with birds. They left the baby girl. They left the boy, still in the birch bark basket, left them dangling down from the fair, dry branch. And I went up to the poor little girl, half dead with fear. Poor little girl, you're dead, you're dead. Your mother danced to honor me. In a shabby dress of cedar bark she danced for me. In a mean dress of fir tree bark she danced for me. In birch bark apron, like a foal, she danced for me. And the poor little girl, half dead with fear, I tossed into the hollow of my mouth, teeming with 20 teeth, and crunched her bones as though she were a duck. Then I went up to the poor little boy, half dead with fear. Poor little boy, you're dead, you're dead. Your mother danced to honor me. In clinking silver ornaments she danced for me. In woolen skirt like squirrel skin she danced for me. In beaded shoes like squirrel claws she danced for me. In a blouse adorned with birds she danced for me. In a kerchief decked with forest birds she danced for me. If my right hand of strength is reft, I'll seize your cradle with my left. But when the poor little boy, half dead with fear, was overcome with terror of the beast, he fled, he ran away, and in the hollow of my mouth, teeming with 20 teeth, all that remained was a dark ring of foam. When all the women returned to their town king, they announced the news to the menfolk, told it point by point. Then all the menfolk put their handsome joints on a war footing. In the middle of the boat they put 2 dogs like yearling reindeer calves for the small wooded island with the thick lime grove, the wooded island with the thick birch grove out in the long and narrow lake. They held the prow of the mighty boat as high as a bull reindeer swimming holds its neck, and had the boat's broad stern been rudderless, surely the fair prow of the sharp-prowed boat would have sunk in the 7 holy waves. When they came to the small wooded island with the thick birch grove, the thick lime tree grove out in the long and narrow lake, all of the men, each one's heart, bold as the beast, jumped like quick-bottomed hares towards the shore. And all of the men, each one's heart, bold as a woman, crawled on all precious 4s towards the shore. Then they let loose the 2 dogs like yearling reindeer calves upon me. When I went up to the poor little boy, half dead with fear, the dogs lunged at me. When I attacked them, 2 and 1-pronged arrows drawn from the quiver mouth of the town prince were shot at me. When I faced them, somebody came at me with a spear tied with a thong. When I faced that, somebody came at me with the back of an axe that fire had gnawed. When I faced it, I died the beast's great death. When I had died the beast's great death, they stripped me as a magpie is skinned. My holy fur they laid out in the middle of the boat, and to the fine quay of the prince's town we marched, with a full retinue of maids. As we approached the jetty, all the women, hundreds of matrons from the town, were standing before my head, its thick hair combed and parted. Their hands were wet as those of washer girls. From a great mass of water, all the women, all the men of the town raised a fine cloud heavenward. Then they played the holy beast games. They brought me into houses where the women made fire. The holy beast meal was prepared. After the meal, they danced the holy dance. When the feast was over, I raised myself to heaven again, up to my Father God, the 7-throated, up upon an iron chain's end that clinked like silver.